Good morning, my name is Ian Tindale. Let's go back to 1951, a film called The Man in the White Suit. Now, this is a superb 1951 British film, apparently classified as a science fiction comedy. Sidney Stratton, played by Alec Guinness, is a research chemist, but kept losing his jobs at various textile mills up north. He's working independently in a kind of surreptitious way now. He's on a scientific quest to develop a fibre which will last forever, or at least a very long time, and is easy to clean and hard to damage. Now, he's working in unskilled positions in a mill, whilst secretly experimenting in a lab in the mill. The Electron Microscope that the mill has ordered turns up just coincidentally and is delivered, and he's the one that is responsible for unpacking it. And as he already knows how to use a electron microscope, he's mistaken for a scientist already working there when he explains to the other research scientists there how to use the electron microscope. One thing leads to another, and he ends up being given lab space to engage in his experiments to produce this fibre of his. Now, eventually he does succeed in creating this fabric. It's a slightly radioactive, brilliant white fabric that cannot even be cut conventionally and cannot be dyed because it's stain and dirt resistant and almost indestructible. He arranges to have a suit made for it for him to wear. Once it's apparent that he has succeeded in his aim, both the management above him and the trade unions below him, socio-economically that is, arrive at a realisation and consequently turn against him and his invention. Once a consumer has bought all the clothing that they need in this new material, they'll never need to replace it, as it is near indestructible. The mill would go out of business. Now, once a consumer, as I say, has bought everything that they need, this is an economic threat. The management sees this as the end of the mills, not just their individual mills, but all of them, the entire textiles industry. They all get together and decide that Sidney must be stopped in some way. Meanwhile, the unions, of which he already has a few friends within, realise this also. They also see that once a consumer has bought all the clothing that they need, that's the end. This means the end of their members' jobs, for a start. They too decide that Sidney must be stopped in some way. The mill owners want to buy him out, making him sign a generous contract which would make him quite rich, but also mean that his invention would never see the light of day, forever. The unions have a somewhat more direct and physical approach in mind to stop Sidney from proceeding. This is really a very, very good film. It's one of those typical black and white films of the age, 1951, focusing on a kind of class battle. But it's also scientifically extremely valid and economically quite valid as well. And Alec Guinness has played some other interesting parts later in his career, but this is one of his peak performances as the man in the white suit, Sidney Stratton. I very much recommend it. If you've never seen it before, please make an effort to see it. It's really, really a very classic film. And if you like these, please think about subscribing and liking. But if you don't want to do that, have a very good weekend anyway. My name is Ian Tindale. This was The Man in the White Suit. Thank you very much.